Good morning and welcome to Farm Factor. I'm your host, Jamie Bloom. Today we start with Duane Toews and Jason Kroener, General Manager of CHS in Okarche, Oklahoma. Then enjoy our weekly Kansas Soybean update. Kyle Bauer will visit with Randy Gordon, President of the National Feed and Grain Association, and then learn about the new beef bacon called Schmacon. Next is the Kansas Farm Bureau update, and we'll end today with Plain Talk as Kyle Bauer and Duane Toews discuss stem cells.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
Welcome to Farm Factor. Let's join Duane Toews and Jason Kroener as they discuss the issues grain elevators face during harvest.
Duane Toews joining him once again with Ag AM in Kansas. And while in Oklahoma, a chance to stop in Okarche, Oklahoma, catch up with CHS General Manager for Oklahoma, Jason Kroener. And Jason, we think about harvest season, a busy season, but a good season for an elevator.
Yeah, we're excited. This is what it's all about. This is the time of year.
We obviously have a little delay from when we get a chance to record this to getting everything on the air. But when we did this spot, you're in the midst of harvest here. Trucks lined up at the elevator, mid-90s for temperatures and a little breeze out. Makes for good cutting conditions for producers out there.
Yeah, really the last couple of days, the weather's cleared for us. Humidities have dropped, and it has allowed us some really open weather to cut this wheat.
What are some of the issues from an elevator's perspective in CHS when you have to gear up for a harvest like a wheat harvest here in central Oklahoma?
Well, first and foremost, it's employees and staff. You got to make sure you're staffed correctly. You got to make sure your elevators are as empty as you can get them so that you can take this big harvest. And then really during harvest, it's about safety and making sure traffic flow works and that people are getting rest and that they're safe through the process.
You referenced a big crop, maybe bigger than we thought it was going to be 6 months ago, I'm sure.
Well, I think so. I think the weather has allowed us to have some good feeling weather. It's allowed this crop to fill itself nicely. You know, we had some weather issues with some rust and, some more moisture, but the farmers did a great job of protecting themselves with fungicides, and, they got a good fertility program, and it's become an average to above average harvest. It's pretty exciting to see.
You see the benefits from that on your end when you try and market that crop when they've done a good job with some fungicide applications and such. Keeping that test weight up gives you a marketable crop that you can do something with.
Yeah, it does. Test weight's a part of it. We need to make sure it's clean. Protein's another part of it. And so our test weights have been extremely strong, especially coming off of last year where test weights were a little lighter. Good clean wheat. The guys did a nice job keeping herbicides on and keeping them clean. Also, our proteins may be a little bit light right now, but we're hoping they'll increase over time here as we get into the bigger part of our territory.
We think about those issues. That becomes the miller and baker who is the end customer for the elevator, at least. Ultimately, it gets to the consumer and those products, and they have a job to do to blend that and make it all work out for those flour properties.
Yeah, they're professionals at what they do. That's their side of the business. Our side is to receive it in a professional and a timely manner, and it's our job to sell it to them, and that they do their part of it. So,
our thanks to Jason Kroener, CHS Oklahoma, joining us with Ag AM in Kansas. Jamie, we'll send it back to you.
Folks, stay with us after these messages from our sponsors for this week's Kansas Soybean Update.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and the Kansas Soybean Update.
This is the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. Andy Windsor, a farmer from Grantville, Kansas, joins us. Andy, you and your family were the recipients at this year's Commodity Classic of the American Soybean Association's 2016 National Conservation of Legacy Award, and that is a great honor for Windsor Farms.
Yes, we're very honored to receive the award. It's been very much appreciated.
Andy, what is the biggest thing that the National Conservation of Legacy Award showcases of an individual farming operation?
Well, it covers the overall management practices of the farming operation and how it ties into conservation, and it gives farmers the recognition for doing those practices.
Well, in this case, too, 2017 award applications are being accepted right now, and this is something really that all soybean farmers can look at?
Yes, eligible for all U.S. soybean farmers. The application can be downloaded from the Internet off of the American Soybean Association's website.
And the deadline itself, when do they need to get that in before the deadline hits?
The deadline's September 2nd. I'd encourage anybody that's interested to download the form and get it in by September 2nd.
Going back to your farm, Windsor Farms, receiving the award, that has to mean so much, not only to yourself, to your wife, Lavelle, but your whole family, because it's really a family operation that you guys run.
Yes, our whole family was involved in the process, and everybody's really excited about it.
Because of the legacy of that farm, but it really shows the legacy of how soybean farmers and all farmers do what they do as far as taking care of the land that they have.
Yes, that's true. A family farm like this was started many years ago and generations back, and keeps building. Generations keep building on what the past generations have done.
And once again, the deadline for the 2017 National Conservation and Legacy Award is September 2nd. And you can download an application at www.soygrowers.com. Andy, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That is Andy Windsor, a farmer from Grantville, Kansas, who joins us on the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Learn more at kansassoybeans.org. For Kansas Soybeans, I'm Greg Akagi.
Hope you enjoyed this week's Kansas Soybean Update. After this break, we'll catch up with Kyle Bauer and Randy Gordon, president of the National Feed and Grain Association.
I will take action against herbicide-resistant weeds. I will know my weeds, and I will stop them before they go to seed. I will do whatever it takes to give my crops the upper hand, and I will use multiple herbicide sites of action because every action counts. I will take action, this time for all time.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Grain Sorghum. growers working together. Find out more at kansasgrainsorghum.org.
We're back. Let's join Kyle and Randy to learn how producers, grain elevators, feed mills, and exporters all work together.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer from Kansas City. I have the opportunity to visit with Randy Gordon. He's with the National Feed and Grain Association. Let's start, Randy, with what does the National Feed and Grain Association do?
Okay, well, Kyle, our members are grain elevators and feed mills and grain processors and exporters, so we try to represent their interests on trade and ag policy and futures market-related issues, food safety, biotech, and a number of other areas. But our members are those who are taking the product from farmers and trying to merchandise those into products that are used around the world.
You know, you bring up a good verbiage there is we haul our grain to the elevators and we expect them to sell it, but we have some responsibility as producers when we deliver that to that elevator.
Well, and that's a big issue for us right now is in terms of the marketability of those products. Obviously, the American farmer is tremendously productive and bountiful and efficient and cost-effective in what they do. But in the area of biotechnology in particular, one of the concerns we have is that some new traits are being introduced into the marketplace and commercialized by technology owners that may or may not be approved in some foreign markets. So that's a big consideration for us in terms of whether those commodities can have a market going forward. So we think it is really important as we get through these kinds of situations where there may be a trait that needs to be channeled or stewarded in a particular way, that the technology owner step up and bear responsibility there, but also that farmers are aware from conversations with their local elevators as to whether there's a good market for those kind of commodities.
You use the word channel, and it's probably a great visual because of the fact that the elevator can do just fine with finding a home for those things. They just need to know ahead of time what they're dealing with so they put them in the right channel.
That's right, and a lot of our members have a very strong feed market or other kinds of outlets where they can, if they know what the trade is, get it to the right buyer. But the worst case scenario for us is obviously if there is an unapproved trait and that company is involved heavily in an export market where that trait may not be approved, of having that contaminate, if I can put quotes around that word, an entire bin, and having that bin then basically be devalued and be available only for instance, a feed market going forward. So it is a big issue that there needs to be that kind of two-way communication with growers throughout the marketing season.
Well, and we need everyone to understand there's nothing wrong with the product. It's just that if it isn't approved in an export market, then it can't be sold there. And so as long as it's sold domestically, consumed domestically, we're fine. But one thing we don't think about is when it goes to an ethanol plant, those DDGs have to be consumed in this country as well.
Well, that's right. There have been some rejected shipments of DDGs because they contained a trait that wasn't approved yet in a foreign government or by a foreign government. So, yeah, it's important from that sector as well. Every one of these products needs to find an approved buyer that can utilize those products without trade disruptions. And frankly, you know, our situation involving a couple of traits a couple of years ago where China stopped shipments of U.S. corn cost the industry and farmers upwards of $4 billion over the course of a couple of years. So it's very meaningful in terms of what that economic impact is.
We're visiting with Randy Gordon. Randy is with the U.S. Grain and Feed Dealers Association. This is Kyle Bauer reporting.
Bacon from cattle? Be sure and come back after this break for the word on beef bacon.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
The new Better Horses Network is worldwide. Presented by Lucas Oil. Featuring worldwide radio and TV with iconic hosts like Al Dunning, Sharon Camarillo, Ernie Rodina, Lindy Birch, and Craig Cameron. With American Cowboy, Horse and Rider, Brushy Creek, Cavenders, and Ride TV. Worldwide radio and TV. The all-new Better Horses Network.
Support Kansas agriculture education with an AgriTag. AgriTags are available anytime at your county treasurer. They look great on cars and trucks. For more information, go online to ksagclassroom.org.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Welcome back. Here's the scoop on Schmacon.
Just when you thought bacon couldn't get any better, along comes Schmacon, beef bacon.
It's a new way for us to utilize more of the total carcass. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to value add those lower quality or lower priced parts of the carcass. So by natural cure, you're able to eliminate the nitrite from the product. So what we use is celery powder and natural cherry powder that actually cures the product. It gives it the cured meat color.
In many Middle Eastern countries, Schmacon may be readily accepted as a pork alternative.
The way this will affect producers is it will increase demand for a lower priced cut. We're utilizing the plate for this, which is the underbelly of the animal. It's a product that a lot of times is ground. It's a lot of times it receives drop value, drop credit for ground beef. It's doubly important because right now you've got an extremely overvalued, extremely high valued dollar. Your export market is not exactly where it needs to be right now. So this is a product that is a cut that is exported heavily, and it depends on that export market. Right now the export market's not there. So this is very important to the farmer.
Marketing ideas and rollout plans are moving forward for the international market, and once they take off, the next focus will be domestic distribution. In the meantime, beef producers should keep an eye on quality.
Our farmers just need to keep doing what they're doing. They're doing a great job raising product. They're doing a great job with the cattle. The numbers are going up. The supply is there for us. We need to figure out ways to help market product for them, ways to get the consumer to more readily accept our product and our offerings, and they're going out to them. Our ranchers are unbelievably good, and they do such a good job at responding to what the economic indicators tell them to do. And absolutely right now the numbers are going up, and we're really going to be in a good position to push this product and increase the value of what we're putting out on the market.
The take home, beef producers have more than one reason to get excited when they see beef bacon on grocery store shelves. I'm Jenna McCrell.
Stay with us after the break for this week's Kansas Farm Bureau update.
There's a lot of different ways of doing this woodwork, but I could not make a knife without both hands, especially without this thumb. And my thumb was so sore that I couldn't even touch it, and they wanted to fuse it, and I said no, cut it off, because I didn't want it sticking up. And I found out about the Kansas regenerative stem cell and went to Manhattan and had that taken care of in my thumb, and now I'm able to go again.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and this week's Kansas Farm Bureau update.
Farm Bureau's Women's Communications Boot Camp focuses on enhancing communication and leadership skills and includes targeted training in public speaking, media relations, messaging, and advocacy. American Farm Bureau Women's Leadership Committee Vice Chair Isabella Chisholm says the boot camp provides essential tools for improving communication on and off the farm.
I just think it's important to always realize that we can improve and also to take advantage of the tools that are available to us, because farming story is the most important story that needs to be understood by everyone.
She says the program starts off with attendees performing skills they know, then builds and improves on those skills over a quick few days.
I went through the program myself, and now to watch others, there's just such a sense in pride and accomplishment for them as to how much they can accomplish and improve over just 2 days' time.
She says the program benefits Farm Bureau and all of agriculture.
They have a story, they know how to tell it, but in order to avoid some confusion, to help them in tough situations, you give them the tools that they need, and as they apply them, they become better and stronger leaders and communicators, and that shares the message of agriculture with more people in a more distinct way.
Michael Clements, Washington.
Come back after the break for Plain Talk with Kyle Bauer and Duane Toews.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Next up is Plain Talk with Kyle and Duane's thoughts on stem cells.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer with Plain Talk with Duane Toews.
Kyle Bauer, your fact or fiction question of the day. When a woman who is pregnant suffers from an injury or malady to her body, it's possible for the baby to send stem cells to help her recover. Fact or fiction?
Okay. Stem cells are in the bloodstream, and the baby and the mother are connected through the placenta and the umbilical. And the mother passes blood to the baby, so I can't imagine why it wouldn't. I'll go true.
That's what it says. They
That
said
makes sense to me.
The example they give is a pregnant woman having a heart attack and suffering heart damage. They're actually
have a better chance of recovering because those stem cells from that baby are
instant.
Huh.
Which
there is some amazing
crazy
stuff they're doing with stem cells these days, and
Yeah.
you know, I personally have had some stem cell treatment. And
how'd you get along?
Well, I don't know. It took 57 years to wear out this body. It's going to take more than 57 days to build her back
to
up.
fix it again.
I did, and the procedure. I survived the procedure.
Good.
Yeah, that's
a
first step.
plus. Step number one.
Yeah.
You got to come back out from the facility.
And so, you know, it kind of remains to be seen. I have a lot of friends, I have several friends that have had it done, all with success, and it was really cool, and they seem to think I have a fair chance of having success myself.
Mm-hmm.
We will see. I am very optimistic.
All right.
You know, the interesting thing is, wow, I don't know if we should go into this far or not. You know, it's my knees is my problem, my main problem, though the stem cell.
Okay, Kyle, let's be
right,
honest.
Yeah, let's just line them up. Let's get the list out.
You've got a number of other problems.
Okay, the main thing that I treated for was my knees. all
Okay.
right? And there was a time, maybe 2 months after I had the treatment, that my knees actually hurt more.
Mm.
I'm thinking, I think that's a good sign.
Yeah. Did you call back and ask?
No.
You just left yourself in the dark.
Well, it's like I'm okay. Ignorance is bliss, and I'm the happiest guy in Kansas. You know? But I thought, well, you know, that makes sense because of the fact that something's going on in there.
Right.
Something changed in there. So I don't know. I mean, and now recently I think that it is significant improvement.
Oh.
But
whether it maintains.
Well, and I suspect it will get better than this. And so the jury is still out.
Right.
The jury is just me, one-person jury.
It's a one-man jury.
But I have every reason to be optimistic, and I was optimistic enough to put my money up, and I'm glad I did.
Well, you know, it's interesting. It's all in the individual's perception of
what success is.
Yeah, to one person, you know, feeling a little better than what they were before is success.
Well, that's a good
To
point.
another person, they feel like jumping over tall buildings, and if they don't,
Yeah,
they're
and it's like,
disappointed.
ever since I had the stem cell things, I can't play the violin.
Yeah.
Of course, I never could before either.
Couldn't do it before.
Or the trumpet.
You never know.
And I wasn't worth a darn at basketball or anything else. But when this is done, I'm going to be a great in all of those.
Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Jamie Bloom, and I hope you enjoyed today's show. See you next week on Farm Factor. We're here every Tuesday on Ag AM in Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.